In the second part of this section, let's now build our first project that has some real interactivity. And so, let's get straight to it. And by now, you know the drill. So if you're on Windows, open up your command prompt. If you're on a Mac, open your terminal, please. And then, as always, navigate to the folder where you want to create your project. So that's my desktop. And then in there, run npx create react app. And then please specify version number 5 here. And then finally, the name of the project, which is going to be travel list. Then hit enter and then let create react app do its thing. And in the meantime, I will give you a quick tour of the app that we're going to build. So this is the Faraway app, which is a simple travel list where we can add all the items that we need for our next trip. So for example, let's say we need 2 boarding passes that we really cannot forget. And then we can hit enter or click here. And so then that item gets added here to the list. And also you see that down here we have the statistics that just got updated. So that's already some interactivity right there, but of course we can do more. So for example, let's say we don't need the charger anymore for some reason. So we can just click there and it's gone. We also can mark these items as completed. So basically as packed. So let's say we already packed that one. And then down here it says we already packed 2, which is 50%. But there is even more. So we can also sort by these 3 things here. So input order, or by description, or by the packed status. And so then the packed items here, they appear at the end. And finally, maybe once we are back from our trip and want to prepare our next one, we can just clear the entire list at once. So it then asks us if we are sure, and yes we are. And indeed, then our list becomes completely empty. And that's it. So I think this is a really nice little project for us to learn some more interactivity, and it has all these nice but simple features that we are going to build. And on top of that, I also really like this nice design here. It's a bit retro, which I think really fits the vibe of this application. And now, before we start writing any code, let's actually take a look at how we can break up this entire design into components. So this first big yellow part, I think we can call this the logo of the application. And so we're going to create one component called logo just for this part. Then next up, we clearly have some form here. And so that's where we are going to put these elements. So yet another component. Next, then we have this entire list, which I think can be called the packing list. And then in there, each of these items is, well, just called an item. We could call it a packing item maybe, but we'll see once we get to the code. Finally, down here, we have this other area, which I think we can just call stats or statistics. So this is how we are going to break up this user interface into components. And we will talk a lot more about how we actually do this, so how we arrive at these different components, but that's not the focus of this application. Here we just want to work a little bit more with state, with events, and also learn about how we can handle form submissions. So if that sounds fun, then let's quickly move on to the next lecture and start implementing this layout.